What's up, guys? It's Alexander, obviously. I promise I'll record a podcast about this since it's been a recurrent question and I really don't know why. Apparently, a lot of you use them. I keep being asked about saunas. This is like an everyday thing now. What do I think of saunas? Saunas are fine. There is nothing good nor bad about saunas. Saunas just make you sweat. It's just relaxing. Yeah, that's literally just it. If you like to go in a sauna because you like to sweat and it like the gentleman just said, it makes you relax. By all means, do so. Detoxification of the body through sweating, that's a very natural process that everybody does. If you want to speed that up, be my guest. But, as far as saunas having any kind of magical effect, steam rooms, yeah, steam rooms, saunas and steam rooms are different, but same effect overall. Sauna, steam rooms, whatever, it's entirely upon if you want to use it or not. It's not something I recommend because it's fucking amazing. It's not something I dissuade people from using because, it is useful. So it's a personal decision. I don't have any, particular slant on it of whether you need to use a sauna or you shouldn't be using a sauna. Personal choice. Literally, that's it. That is literally it. That's as far as it goes. So any questions, guys? I don't know why this is such a thing for a lot of you. You sharing your advice and opinions are a perfect example of why social media is amazing. Social media is pretty cool. I will agree with you. Any questions on saunas though, guys? I don't personally use them. I don't know if that's part of the question. Hi from Sweden. What's up, man? I don't personally use saunas. I wear a hoodie when I work out, so I already sweat a lot, and I train essentially multiple times a day, so I sweat on top of that as well. I don't feel like I need to sweat anymore. If you want to use them, by all means do so. What's your opinion on them? I just answered that question, bro. Watch it from the beginning. Opinion is that it's a personal decision. There's nothing awesome about them. There's nothing not awesome about them. It's entirely if you just want to use it because you enjoy using it. That's it. Thoughts on full body workouts every day. Let's just go to questions, guys. If you got questions, start asking questions. Thoughts on full body workouts every day. Full body training actually does work. It works well. It's definitely an efficient way to train. The only reason I don't recommend it or use it that often is because people don't necessarily enjoy it. And I say that speaking from a personal training standpoint of training, clients for, a long time now. People, generally speaking, enjoy single muscle group or like double muscle group workouts, or let's say like an upper lower body split. That's very easily mentally manageable. It makes sense if you're trying to teach someone how to work out. It's far more simple to prioritize just one or two muscle groups in a given workout, and then you can teach them about the functionality of that muscle group, what they need to do, etc. Trying to train the whole body at once, if you are experienced and you know how to work out, let's say, yeah, it can be effective. If you're inexperienced and you don't really know how to train effectively, then it's just a lot to keep track of. In total body workouts, same thing why I don't use daily undulating periodization. Fucking fancy term that's one of those things that works great on paper and theory. Trying to plot that out for people and explain that you're going to have 3 or 4 different workouts every single week, and that you're going to work a different, be working the whole body but with different exercises every single workout, and then you have to keep track of all of that. And let's say it's 5 or 6 or 7 different movements. It's just a lot to manage. And if you're, like I said, if you're new to training, or if you just want to simplify your training, it creates more data points than is necessary. And I really can't argue. There really is no argument that it's more superior to single or doubling up on muscles. It's just a different way to do it. Totally irrelevant, but do you know methods of making $1,000 a day? Have a business, but just have a business. A lot of top fitness people argue bro splits are beneficial for naturals. I think that's a bunch of bullshit too. I'm a natural guy. I've trained with bro splits for years. They've worked well. I've known tons of natural bodybuilders that use bro splits, and they also work well. I don't know I don't know who the people are that make these arguments that bro splits don't work. For natties. I've worked in the fitness industry for a long time. I have known, interacted with hundreds, probably thousands of natural bodybuilders, and almost probably 99% of them use bro splits. It's in this stuff like, push-pull legs, chest back, push pull kind of split, lower body, biceps, triceps, etc., etc. They train 4 days a week, 5 days a week. Maybe they do like a 3-day split and they double up on that 6 days. So, yeah, everything works, guys. What matters long term is training. Is as I often say, are you getting stronger and are you getting bigger and are you doing more reps? If all those 3 things are happening, then your training's working. So don't mess with it. What do you think of squatting every day? Unnecessary, entirely unnecessary. Unless you are an Olympic lifter that you are competing at the, I guess elite level, national level. Sure, you probably will squat every day. If you're not an Olympic lifter, there's no reason to squat every day. There's no need to squat every day. You can get all of the leg gains, strength that you want from squatting once a week. Maybe twice, if you really want to. Probably can do bodyweight squats every day. Yeah, you can do bodyweight squats every day, sure. Healthy way to tan, always have a tan. I go tanning personally. I go use a tanning bed once a week, just because it's faster than being out in the sun for multiple hours. And I think in the long term it'll probably be safer since it is overall less an exposure. But that'd be my recommendation, honestly. I think tanning beds are abused, but they're also misused. What about bodyweight training? What about it? What is the question? Like Herschel Walker is now an example of anything but being an extreme outlier of a genetically gifted black athlete with better genetics than you'll ever have, and he's not a person to follow with what he does. At all. Whatever elite athletes do, I don't care, especially when it's some extreme example, because it doesn't apply to 99% of people. Bodyweight workouts can build muscle, obviously. They're not going to build muscles to the same degree as doing bodyweight plus resistance training. Even gymnasts use weights, actually, when they train, which a lot of people are completely unaware of. There's the idea that gymnasts never use weights. They do use weights. As an experienced lifter, why do I find bodyweight workouts kick my ass more? Probably because you never trained properly. If you are training properly, you should be doing bodyweight work all the time with your weights, and that keeps your overall joint mobility, functionality, strength levels very optimized, let's put it that way. If you never use bodyweight workout, if you never train with bodyweight ever and you just lift weights, then yeah, you're going to create incompetencies and deficiencies and imbalances, and you'll be lacking physical development. You do everything. You don't just do one thing. Same way I tell you guys with barbells or dumbbells or or body weight. You use everything to your advantage. All tools are useful. There is no singular one way to do everything. You dressing up for Halloween? No, I'm not really a holiday person too much. How long would it take to get a six-pack? Depends upon how fat you are. So I have no idea. What are the benefits of the Power Clean Hang Clean? Good question. Power Clean Hang Cleans, they are useful for power development. It's an explosive hip extension. So if you do them properly, you can, let's say improve your athleticism. Is there a Hard Gainer podcast article by you? No, I don't think I've actually done one. I will record one this weekend. I do not think I've actually done one. I've talked about probably in the email list, but I think, honestly, I've lost track at this point. I've sent out so many emails. But I've never done a podcast on hard gainers. Hard gainers and, honestly, skinny fats are somewhat similar in terms of training tactics. Hard gainers really are just people that you just gain muscle just slowly. So, are you from the 1500s? I'm from before the 1500s, actually. I'm from the 4th century BC. What got you into doing ballet? I love it, and it's the only thing I've ever fucking loved. That's it. The benefits from it are that it's the singular joy of my life that I have absolute devotion to. You time traveled? No, I'm immortal. What's your favorite cardio method? Honestly, martial arts or dance. How many wide grip pull-ups do you deem to be respectable? I would say at least 12. More common overtraining or undertraining? Undertraining is more common than overtraining. General population. Pull-ups, respectable number. 12 reps on any hand position. So supinated, grip, neutral, or pronated. Do you believe in fate? I believe there's an element of serendipity to reality in people's lives that is probably unappreciated. So I'll put it that way. I don't know if I would call that fate truly, but there is definitely a degree of coincidence that does happen at times. Are you a WWE wrestler? No. I don't know who I look like in the WWE. I get told names by people all the time, but... Do you believe in astrology? No. No. I have no access to paid gym and only use weights, champ bar. Good tips for lats back, please. Dude, just get used to doing fucking champs and pull-ups. If you can get a suspension trainer and do inverted rows, and that much better. Back bends. Have you done any psychedelics? No. Are you millunaire? No. Are you religious? Yes, I'd qualify as religious, so I don't talk about much. Ever done Kundalini yoga? Yes, although I'm not really a yoga person because I don't. I mean, it's just not my thing personally. I'm flexible enough as is, at least relative to what I do. Or any reason you decided to do Periscope or podcast lately? I've just felt like it, honestly. It's an interesting format. You get to practice live in person, talking with people. You're fielding a lot of questions at the same time, so you have to be able to formulate answers, very on the fly. So I consider it practice in that regard for speaking. When did you start blogging, writing online? 2013. So 4 years ago. Am I cheating myself if I don't stretch regularly? Not necessarily. If you're naturally flexible and your resistance training is properly programmed, you might not need to stretch all that much, but most people do need to stretch. What's your job? Being myself. Thoughts on self-proclaimed people? I'm not really sure what the question is. Self-proclaimed in regards to what? Self-proclaimed expert, self-proclaimed guru, self-proclaimed... What are we speaking of? Skinny rest remedies. Good question. If you have thin wrists, I know I said this before, but wrist curls and this pronated curls, you gotta get your wrists stronger, strengthen the muscles in there. Also, using wrist straps. Those make a big difference. I like Ayurveda. Cool. Push, pull, and legs, only training method. Your thoughts? If it's working. If you want to, I mean, that's just a split to use. That's it. Saunas. We already answered the sauna question 10 minutes ago. Answering impromptu questions on the fly is an amazing skill. Yeah, that's the idea. I mean, that's part of the reason why I like doing these, is because people just throw stuff out there super fast, and I'm trying to come up with an answer that's hopefully a good answer, so... RSD Tyler's my favorite bodybuilder. I don't know who that is, honestly. Do I have to pray for my sins today? You should be praying for your sins every day. How much caffeine do you have daily? About 400 grams. Or 400 grams. 400 milligrams. Jesus, 400 grams. I'd be dead with 400 grams. Which Greek god are you? Anyone I want to be. Do you own a gun? No. I'm in California right now. So I own a lot of knives instead. I want to start the New World Order. Damn it. I hate Trump. I am sorry for your frustration. Chemtrails are turning the frogs gay. Hey, maybe not. Soy protein bars okay. I'm really not fond of soy protein bars. They tend to be just very processed. Any plans for travel by year's end? I think so. Thoughts on gun control? I am very, very, very pro-Second Amendment. I think all people should be armed. I think all people should know how to defend themselves. Block the trolls. You know what? I know I should, dude. I have no idea how to block people on Periscope. I just haven't given enough of a shit to look at it. If you were a hot dog and you were starving, would you eat yourself? I'm not really sure how that would even work. I'd probably just end myself at that point, and then hope to reconcile it with God later. My frog turned gay this morning. I'm sorry for your misfortune. Not really sure how you found that out, but it must be a hell of a story. Roll the bun back. I don't do man buns. Man buns are for women, which means no man should ever have a bun, period. Have you met Goldman in real life? No, but I plan to. How many hours do you read a week? It seems like you read tons. I read concentrate about an hour a day. And I read pretty much all the time. I'm constantly reading stuff, so I have a lot of books where I'm just picking up and reading for 15 minutes and putting them back down. Do you believe in evolution? Yeah, I believe in biological essentialism and Darwinian biology and Darwinian evolution. Yes. Hopefully they answer the question sufficiently. Ever use fat grips for barbells or dumbbells? I do. Ironically enough, the gym I go to right now, the dumbbells, the fat grips don't quite fit on them properly, but I have definitely used them in the past. Do you like Napoleon Hill? Yes. Napoleon Hill, I mean, is a pretty classical example, I guess, of a life advisement. You still doing personal training or mainly just writing these days? Mainly just writing these days. I had attempted to get back into in-person personal training, but in terms of the time investment in it not being worth it at all. Thoughts on Tai Lopez? I don't really have any defined thoughts. I know he gets a lot of criticism from people, but for the people that I've known that have worked with him or gone through his programs, they all seem to really benefit. So I think he's a genuine guy. I think. Yeah, maybe I'm wrong. Are you a Christian the way you were talking about? It seems you were. No, I'm Jewish. I appreciate your comments on how long it takes to make significant body compositional changes. Yeah, I don't bullshit with people. It takes a while, and it takes a while. For triceps, can I get great results if I only do rope pulls and dips with chest workouts? Maybe, maybe not. That honestly is going to depend on your genetics or anything else. Some guys get amazing this arm development or tricep development, let's say tricep, chest, shoulders from doing dips and bench press, and that's about it. You know, maybe you do some fucking rope, you know, push downs, and then you're covered. Other guys, depending upon how you're built or just like I said, your genetic propensity, you might need to do a lot of tricep work. It also comes down to how heavy you're pressing. If you're doing a lot of heavy shoulder pressing, or just if you're doing high volume pressing in general, where you're, you know, chest pressing, you know, twice a week, shoulder pressing twice a week, you probably don't need to do that much tricep work. If you're not doing it, if it's kind of like, you know, maybe you have a chest tricep workout, you know, this by itself once a week, and then you have like a separate arm day, then yeah, you could double up tricep work, definitely. What defines bad genetics? Just responsiveness to training. Do you think e-commerce is worthwhile for a first personal business? Yes, just be aware that you're going to feel like you're fucking up all the time. 6 workouts, 2 times a week, high body part. Training 6 days a week with double frequency. It just depends on if you recover, man. Honestly, that's it. If you can recover and you adapt, then it's working. If you're not really recovering, or your progress really isn't happening, then it's probably too much. I just missed a whole bunch of questions. What was my testosterone levels? My testosterone levels are high normal. It's always in the 800 plus range, so yeah, I don't worry about my testosterone levels at all. Do you meditate? I meditate when I train. I don't actively meditate in terms of, you know, taking time to, I guess, sit and be quiet for prolonged periods of time. Yeah, I meditate, you know, to music, perhaps. I could call it that. I meditate, like I said, while I'm in the gym. Ballet is perhaps a form of meditation in terms of the mental state I get into. But as far as, I guess, doing, you know, transcendental meditation or Zen meditation, etc., no, I don't do anything of that nature. I've never needed to. How many hours do you sleep a day? 7 to 8 hours. Everyone pretty much needs 7 to 8 hours. Do you fuck ballet girls regularly? I hold sexual congress with who I desire to hold sexual congress with. I'll say it that way. I also don't shit where I eat. Any good questions, guys? That are not about my personal sex life that apparently a whole bunch of you either want to fantasize to or just weirdly curious about. Advice for someone that has once lost a lot of weight, got out of shape, is trying to get back. You need to re-systemize whatever it is that you're doing and internalize the reasons of why you tried to lose the weight in the first place. So, you know, if you've lost weight and then regained it again, I would just ask the question of why those lifestyle changes didn't stick, why the mentality change didn't stick. Taking yourself too seriously. I take everything seriously. I take nothing personally, which means I take nothing seriously. So, you know, life can be extremely serious. Life is also meant to be laughed at. You know, taking yourself too seriously will get you killed. How important is cardio for weight loss? You need good cardiovascular health to, you know, facilitate proper fat loss. So there's that factor. That said, you may not need to do traditional cardio to lose fat. You know, losing fat always comes down to diet. It just does. That's, you know, you can't argue with that. That's 100% incontrovertible. So cardio, you know, might be able to help you lose body fat. It could improve your overall health too. You know, you lose body fat and all that jazz. But as far as it being like essential, like you need to be doing it, not necessarily. Do you know how to learn how to ask better questions? Study epistemology, study pedagogy. Learning how to ask questions is really learning how to learn. So that goes, you know, into your mental models and how you learn, how you can think about things differently. It would be a good book, I suppose. Ray Dalio, Principles. Try reading that. What made you grow your hair? I always wanted long hair, so I grew long hair. Recommended protein to pound intake ratio, 1 to 1. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That simple. The main. Hiking, walking seems to be sufficient cardio for many. Yeah, if you can walk long distances, your cardio is probably fine. I've said that before in multiple articles and I think in podcasts. But you know, proper cardiovascular function, at least for this general health, normal heart rate, normal blood pressure, and that's it. Yeah, that's if you can walk far, you can walk, you know, 1-2 hours, you can walk uphill, you're good. Favorite Lil Wayne album? The Carter 3. Good question. Any goals in life you don't talk about much? A shitload of goals. I really don't discuss much of what my goals actually are, honestly. They're mine, and no one else needs to know. Any ways to get rid of acne? Diet plays a huge role in that. Major, major role. I would address that before anything else. Also, this hormone levels. If you can get your hormones and diet optimized, that'll make a big difference. Favorite podcasts? The only podcast I listen to right now with regularity is Jordan B. Peterson, and that's it. Everything else is... I've listened to other podcasts in the past. What else? Tim Ferriss, Mike Mahler, Sincere Hogan, but that's about it right now. Do you moisturize? No, don't really need to. Thoughts on Pat Stedman? Pat's a great fucking guy. I correspond with him semi-regularly, so definitely support everything he does. My acne went away when I ate less sugar and started doing hikes shirtless. So sugar is inflammatory, so you need to cut that out. And then sunshine, that helps the skin health, so that makes sense. What was the biggest changes you made to boost your T? I've always had high testosterone levels, so... Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was any particular changes. It was really just learning over time how to eat better to support hormonal health. So, enough saturated fat intake, that's one of them. Just, eating clean, that's another. Training, that's another factor. Enough sleep, that's a factor. So, all those things together. Ray Dalio Principles. Yeah, you know what, guys? That's, for everybody, that's a good book. If you want to learn how to learn how to think, learn what mental models are, learn how to ask better questions, Ray Dalio Principles, go with it. What about Ben Shapiro? What about him? Also, the Wall Street Playboy's book, Efficiency. Efficiency is kind of a life guide book, but that is actually a good learning book. You're a Dutch bag. That's a new word I just learned. What's your favorite piece of art? Ballet. Any correlation between being in the sauna and loss of libido? Not that I know of. Thoughts on Ben Shapiro? He's a political commentator, smart guy. He's not that tall, according to most people's accounts. Don't really fucking care, honestly. My T tank after a decade of stress. You should probably consider a TRT if you are that age, or read the article I wrote, 50 Ways to Optimize Testosterone Levels Naturally. That'll probably help. Messi or Ronaldo? I don't watch football/soccer, so I don't give a fuck. I am not a pro sports person. I am not fans of athletes at all, at least not in the sense that I don't really care. Any other questions, people? Did you have an idol growing up? No. Did not. I've never been one to idolize people, really at all, so... There are people that I admire and learn from, but not someone that I would consider an idol truly. Outside of ballet, what other hobbies do you have? As of right now, that's about it. I go to ballet, I go to the gym, and I read a lot. Advice to a 19-year-old going to uni. Read Wall Street Playboy's Efficiency and make wise decisions as to which will have qualitative and quantitative benefit in the long term. Why do you choose to do this? I like the practice in answering questions offhand, and this is the journal banter. It's good training for speaking ability. I talk about how to speak a lot, how to improve speaking ability. Answer questions, talk to people. Plus, answering 80 questions in a row, you will get good at coming up with answers and being able to formulate your thoughts quickly. What made you want to do ballet? I saw it, and it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen, and I wanted to experience it. Oh, that's how you block. What advice would you give to your 18, 20-year-old self? I don't know that I'd really give myself any advice, honestly. At that age, I was not one to really listen to anybody, so I was pretty impossible to talk to. I don't know that there's anything I could have told myself then that I really would have followed at all. Yeah, in retrospect, what have I done? I mean, gone to a different degree, gone to conservatory. Yeah, a lot of things. Finding that account was fucking annoying. Yeah, sorry, guys, I literally just realized that to block somebody, you just tap the comment, and then it comes up with the block option. I've never blocked anyone. Yeah, I guess the trolling never really bothered me all that much since I just ignore it. I'm not one of those people that gets rattled by, comments. It's funny to me. But, yeah, so that's how you do it. My apologies, folks. How much alcohol do you drink in a week, month? Very little. I've gone through different phases in life, guys, so, I guess, personal, so I don't share much of my personal story. At one time, at one time I drank a lot. I lived in Los Angeles. I'd go out multiple nights during the week, Friday and Saturday and Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I mean, there were weeks where I was going out almost every night. Not necessarily hardcore partying where I was getting fucked up and, shit faced, but I'd go out, I'd have cocktails, I'd have vodka and soda, I'd have one, two, or three, or four. So I used to drink a lot. There was a time even I'd drink in the morning. I'd have like whiskey shots to, get myself going with writing. And over time, I just got away from doing that. That was kind of in like my fun phase of life. The past year, especially the past year since I started the online business, I've been very much in monk mode. So I don't drink alcohol that much, if at all. Maybe once a month. That's about it. And even then, it's maybe 2 or 3 drinks at most. So, I mean, don't get in your, if you're a young guy, if you're a young lady even, don't get in your head that you should never have fun ever in your 20s. Have some fun, but just accommodate your, I guess I'd say your enjoyment and hedonism to what you're trying to accomplish in life. What was your lowest point? My lowest point was sitting in a cell for 2 months when I was in jail. That's pretty shitty. That's kind of a situation where, you can learn how to be happy, but you are still fucking locked up. So there's no getting around that fact. Why did you go to jail? Because I committed a crime, which I deserve to be punished for. What are your thoughts on PUA, pickup artistry? God, I feel like gay. The whole thing of game, pickup artistry. I did read Neil Strauss's book, The Game. I found it interesting, both on just a level of Jesus fuck. Apparently, dudes have lots of fucking issues with this being able to speak to a woman and make eye contact. It was also interesting that makes you realize that human behavior can be very systemized, and you can consciously develop ways to obviously manipulate people in a positive or negative sense to get the reaction that you want from them. As far as like the pickup artistry scene or the idea of day game or where you live to pick up women, I've never had like I've said this before, guys. I've never struggled that way with women. I'd be considered a natural according to I don't know, fucking Reddit or whatever PUA classification is. If that's something that interests you, go talk about it, learn about it, read about it. Use it. There are certain. Being charming is a universal human ability. So definitely be charming. Know how to talk to somebody. Know how to create conversation. Know how to be confident as a man. But there's a certain shallowness to it that just turns me off. And at the same time, like I said, it's not something that I can really personally relate to. It's interesting, but not my thing. Have you read The Art of Seduction? Yeah. Like I said, interesting book, good book. It definitely expands your repertoire of how you categorize and view human behavior and personality and all that stuff. But again, it's not something that has much intrigue for me. The Art of Charm is a good podcast, which isn't totally pickup artistry related. Yeah, sure, why not? Do you know who Jack Donovan is? Yes, Jack Donovan wrote The Way of Men and A Sky Without Eagles. Very, very good writer. Hardcore guy, and those of you who know who he is know what I mean. I like Jack Donovan. I like his writing. I think it's pretty fascinating. He's definitely had some great insights into masculinity and defining sort of male inner social dynamics. So I'd read his books. Definitely recommend his books. Push-ups every day if you want to. It depends on if you can't do push-ups, then start practicing them every day. If you can't do push-ups, it's probably not necessary to do them every day. Last best movie that you watched: The Secret Garden. Watched it last night. Phenomenal film. Probably one of my top 10, top 5 films, actually. I forgot how good that film was. One more minute, guys. Any final questions? I've been screwing around with these headphones the whole time. I'm something of a fidgeter, henceforth. Is body type stuff relevant to training? It is, but phenotypes, as I've written before, they're not really scientific, so don't go off it too much. Bitcoin, thoughts on Bitcoin. Cryptocurrency is the way of the future. Blockchain technology, blockchain conceptualization and modeling is the way of the future. So you're going to see that concept, that mental model, that I guess that operative model. It's going to be applied to everything in the next 5 to 10 years. How often do you work out abs? Right now, I work them out every day. Share your gym playlist. Why? I, I don't have a gym playlist, guys. I listen to a huge variety of music when I go to the gym. Sometimes it's very stereotypical gym stuff. Sometimes it's me listening to Lana Del Rey, and I set PRs to her music all the fucking time. So I've got, I mean, I probably have at least 2,500 different songs I'll listen to on any given day that could be a gym song. Do you like metal? No. Do not like metal. Can't fucking stand metal, actually. Does nothing for me. I've always found it absolutely annoying as fuck. Plus, well, the other factor being if I was to make a gym playlist, probably the 90% of you would find it to be not very gym-ish music. What about rap? Yeah, I do like some rap. I do like some rap, definitely. Who do I listen to? Lil Wayne, Revenge of the Pharaohs, Eminem. Yeah, I guess Kanye West. I mean, he's not really much of a rapper, per se. DMX. Something about plant proteins. I just missed that question. One last question, guys. You got one more. Uno mas. Plant or whey? Oh, dude, whey. Whey protein. Whey protein all the way. That's an easy one. Alright, guys. What these bitches want from a nigga, I have no idea sometimes. Talk to you all again. Good luck. Train smart. Train hard. Some other bullshit. Whatever.